And I would like to welcome everyone to today's ASCILITE Live webinar. I am Dave Porter, member of the ASCILITE Executive and your moderator for this session. And for this afternoon, I want to introduce Shamim Joarder. I hope I didn't butcher your name, who is from Macquarie University. He's going to be presenting on his project that actually won him an ASCILITE Innovation Award last year. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Shamim.
Thank you, David. Thanks, everyone. Let me share my screen. Well, thank you everyone for joining this session. I'm Shamim Joarder. I work for the Macquarie University as a system analyst. And iLearn Insight is actually one of the projects that we have been working for the last 2 years. So before I go in detail of iLearn Insights and how it helps for to increase student engagement, let me acknowledge few people. The concept, design, implementation, and maintenance is basically done by myself. Initiative, coordination, and technical help basically provided by Amanda Parker, who initiated it to roll out in Macquarie University. Jeremy Hint, who did a lot of coordination and also gave me a lot of ideas, lots of help from Jeremy. Michael Mendoza from the back end, lots of help. Special thanks to Dominic, who joined since she joined Macquarie University. She definitely involved in this as well. Terence was always helpful, and Fidel was very much helpful in terms of documentations, and there are lots of small help that he has done. So more or less, these are the people I would like to acknowledge from the Learning Innovation Hub and Learning and Teaching. But moreover, from all over Macquarie University academics and professional staff, there are lots of other people who helped in this project by giving me ideas. So now let me go into the project to show what it is and how it works. So this is basically what it is, iLearn Insights. So iLearn Insights, this project I have started to think long back. It was actually basically 2011. But like over the past 2 years, it becomes basically it becomes alive in Macquarie University, and many units and many academics started to use it. So before I show you what is in it in iLearn Insight, the aim of the project long back, it was just to reduce a number of clicks. So I was thinking I need to come up with a interface through which I can reduce number of clicks for the academics. For an example, if you need to go to any unit, you can just click, it will take you directly to this unit. If you need to go to any quiz, you can click over here, it will take you directly to that quiz. You don't have to click 2 or 3 times to reach there. This was the initial aim of this project. But over the years, the aim changed. For an example, the next aim, it has changed to, this is not enough. We need to do some data visualization. So I will show you, as you can see, there are lots of data visualization over here. So that was the second aim, which has changed to the initial aim. Then aim again changed of this project, that okay, now we have like data visualization. Now we need to have some action attached to it. What can we do? Then the concept came of personalized email. So you visualize the data and you send an email to a particular group of students. Now, current aim of this project is to report department level and faculty level. So unit level reporting, there is lots of reporting has been done. I will show it to you. But current aim is to report department and faculty level. And also, another aim currently is automate any repetition of work that is done by the academic or the professional staff in Macquarie University. What I mean by that, there are lots of staff who does repetitive things every day. So another aim of this project now, how we can reduce their repetitive work time. Just for an example, when I started to present iLearn Insights, I used to spend 5 to 6 hours every time I need to present to come up with the data set which I need to show it to other people. Now what I did, this is a repetitive work for me. So what I did, I changed it to accommodate every live unit is now iLearn Insights Sandbox. So as you can see, this is iLearn Insights Sandbox. If I go to another unit, that is also iLearn Insights Sandbox. And all the names over here you will find is actually shuffled up. So no one can. So now I have reduced my 6 hours of work before any presentation. So this is another aim that iLearn Insight has done, at least like 10 of those for different faculty members to reduce their repetitive work. And in future, aim of this project would be to report something for the university. I'm not sure in what form I will be able to report that, but that would be the future work for me. So as you can see, the aim of the project changed, and iLearn Insights has the capability to accommodate all those change of their aim, which I personally think is a positive thing. It's a positive thing for the iLearn Insight that it can accommodate dynamically any request that comes to. Now let's see what iLearn Insight does. So as a unit convener, when they logs in, they come to their unit and it looks like this. So this is the unit name. This is the selected date, from which date to which date they want iLearn Insight to display the report. On the right hand corner, this is a unit engagement they can see. As you can see, it is unit engagement is 68%. So by default, it takes into account how many students logged in not logged in within the 7 days, and how many students submitted their assignment on time. So by default, these are the two criteria iLearn Insight takes into account to calculate the unit engagement. Now through the settings, this unit engagement can be more tailored to the requirement of this unit. And detailed calculation is also shown how I am calculating 68%. So when I first started to build iLearn Insights, one thing was I was very clear. Anything I do over here, any calculation I do or anything I do, whether it is right or wrong, that is a separate thing, but I need to clarify it to the end user. So through the calculation, you can see how this 68 is calculated. And through the details, you can see details for each individual student, how the engagement is calculated. I will come back to this in details very soon. Next one over here will give unit convener an idea of how many students are accessing this unit. So as you can see, this is for the last 14 days. If you put your cursor over here, this is the course access. So out of 1,095 students, 674 student accessed the course, and these are the activity access. So as you can see, 56% students are accessing these activities in this unit on 12th May. So this particular data visualization of the graph gives a clear idea to the academic how this unit is accessed by the students. Now I got a request that 15 days is not enough. So I put 1, 2, or 3, or 4 months over here. If you click, right now I'm not going to click because it takes a little bit time, as lots of data over here. So at the end of the session, unit convener can probably click on the 4 months one and can see at a glance which week students more access this particular unit. Secondly, over here, top 5 hits within the last 7 days. This is another very important one, and I think like many academics use this one. So it gives them a clear idea which resources or activities students are currently clicking. So suppose if an academic thinks that for this week students should click access these and these and these resources, but if they see from here that students are basically accessing some other resources, so they will know something is wrong in the design of the course or something like that. So students don't know which are the resources they should access currently. So as an example for this one, choice activity, which is this, 807 students, 74% students has been accessing, then quiz, then forum, then page, and then another quiz. And as you can see, all these links will directly to take academic to that particular activity or the resources. So it reduces number of clicks for the academic as well. Open activities, it shows when the activities are due. As you can see over here, it gives a clear idea of the academics, like how many days are left for each activity, and it also give a reminder icon if the due date is lesser than 7 days. So academic can click over here and remind these students who have not submitted yet. So for an example, for this one, it's only 1 day and 6 hours and 46 minutes are remaining. So if academic clicks over here in a bulk, they can send all these students a reminder saying that you have you need to submit this particular quiz. I will show the email part later. If you look at this part, observations, in many of my report, I put some observations, and the reason behind it, as an administrator, I can see how many emails has been sent, whether this is successful or not, whether it is working or not, but I wanted to give academic a clear indication of their email which they have sent through iLearn Insight and the effectiveness of those emails. For an example, this particular convener has sent 682 reminder email through iLearn Insights, and 34% of students submitted within 24 hours of receiving that email. 45% students submitted within 48 hours within receiving of that email, and total 77% of students submitted an assignment who received those particular reminder email. Now, when I looked into all the courses, all the units of Macquarie University, I can see even better picture. So on an average, I found that nearly 70% students on an average submit their assignment after receiving this personalized email. I will show you later what is personalized email and how it looks. Now these two reports shows how many students in this unit, how many students haven't logged in within 7 days within this unit. And see 79 students haven't logged in, and how many students never logged in this student, that is 6. So this 79 plus 6 is a list of 85 students right over here who have not logged in within 7 days. It also gives some ideas of when they have last logged in. For an example, these students never logged in, this student logged in 9 days before, this student 7 days before, and so on. Now you can straight away email all these students clicking over here saying that, look, we have observed that from iLearn logs that you haven't logged in into the unit for the last 7 days. Please log in, and many other information we can include into that email. Again, email part I'm showing coming in later. Now over here again I put observation to the academics. It is very transparent. They know whether it is working or not. And as you can see, they have this academic has sent 172 emails through this, and 100% students log in within 24 hours. Just to let you know, I think this is one of the major success of iLearn Insights. I have found in all the units, if I combine all the units, I can see the data, and like 95% students logs in within 24 hours. So this is a huge success, I personally believe, for iLearn Insights, for the student engagement with this unit. Now this one is academic integrity module completion. So the main issue of academic integrity module completion was over the past was basically this is in a different course. So basically unit convener had no idea which are the students of his unit has completed academic integrity module and which are the units haven't completed. So iLearn Insight brought information from a different course and displayed it within this unit, saying that all the students in your unit has completed except 8. Now, which are the 8 students? If you click on here, it will show you the list of 8 students, and again you can email them. Now, again observations over here, as you can see, 872 emails has been sent, and at the end 89% students completed academic integrity module. So for this particular one, I have observed that it doesn't work very well within 24 hours or 48 hours. As you can see, that's why I put some more days over here. And the reason behind that, these are more or less most probably new students, and they takes time to complete. So as you can see, at the end, 89% is not bad. And on an average, if I combine to all the units of Macquarie University, it comes around, from my memory, it comes around 75 to 80% who completes academic integrity module. Now forum discussions. Now forum discussions over here shows all the forums, as you can see, and it divides into 4 different groups. One is how many discussions has been made. So for an example over here, 179 discussions has been posted. This one shows how many unique users contributed to those discussions. This one shows how many replies have been made to those discussions and how many unique users contributed to those replies. So I will go in details again later of each of these, but for the time being, in the dashboard, this is all you can see. Over here, you can see how many forum posts has been made within 24 hours and in which forum those has been posted. So this gives a clear idea of the academic, that which forums people are currently posting, which forum is more popular, and this and that. Once I go inside this one, we can see some more visualization. I will come back to that. And on the dashboard, last bit is the activity schedule. So when I started to design this iLearn Insight, I found that there are some units which has a lots of activities. For an example, if you consider this one, you will see there are lots of activities. Now, what my intention was at that time, I need to show to the convener that probably not all the activity due date corresponds to the same date. So students need to submit probably 10 assignments. So this is a good way to show to the academics, okay, this is how your assignments or the activities are distributed throughout your session. I divided it into 4 groups. Past activities, so these are all the past activities. Current activities, these are all the current activities. Future activities, these are not open yet. And no date activities means there is no date associated with it. So I took starting date as the report start date and report end date. Now through this, unit convener can easily see, okay, so this is my current activity, and these are open in May, and the duration of the opening is 7 days. This one has opened in February and it will end in June, and the duration is 3 months and 16 days. As you can see, it gives a clear idea to the academics how all the activities are distributed. So this is all about the front page. dashboard of the. Now let me quickly show one of the I consider one of the very good things that we have done over here is the sending the personalized email. For an example, if you want to send all these 85 students, you just click over here. Let me use a different unit for this, because this one has a lot of students and I do not want to send email from here. Let's consider this one, which has a relatively small number of students. And if I send this student an email, this is my demo place. So even if I send email over here, it will come back to my email, not basically it won't go back to student. So as you can see, this student hasn't logged in for the last 7 days. I want to send an email to this student. I go over here. I can see already populated some template. If I want to write something, I can write over here. This is a test email. If I don't want to have first name of the student, I want the full name of the student, I put full name of the student. If I want to add something from the snippets over here, let's put it. And suppose I am happy with all others, let's preview it before sending. So once I preview, this is how it looks. Dear so and so, this is I have just added. This is I have added from the snippet. Over here, I have noticed that you haven't logged into this unit. As you can see, you can directly click over here and the student can go directly to that unit. I have also populated dynamically these things. What it says that other students in your unit have been accessing the following materials to help with their study. This might encourage him to see some of this. So that's the reason. And these are fully dynamic. And this is also dynamic. It's saying that if you have difficulties with your study, you can contact so and so and so. Regards, Shamim Joarder, and it will automatically come the convener name. Now, if I send, see, this is safe email. So I know like I'm not going to send it to the student. So I send this message now. So like this, with this only one click, I can send message to probably 100 students or 1,000 students. Now here is that email already came. Let me check how it looks. So as a student, he will get an email like this. And as you can see, dear so and so, and this, he can click directly over here to go to the unit, or he can go direct click any of these resources to read or participate in the activities. So this is that easy. Now if I would like to show let me come back to the forum once again. So let's over here. So this is one of the email I have sent. I have shown you. I will show you some more emails very soon. So before that, let's see some of the visualization of the forum. This is another good thing of iLearn Insight, that you can visualize lots of interaction which is happening in the forum. So let me pick up a good one from here. So I don't think none of them is good one, but still let's pick up suppose this one, or suppose this one. So once you click to visualize a forum interaction, this is how it looks. So as you can see, so this plus means starting of the forum of the discussion, and if you click here, you can read it. You don't have to go anywhere. This is a reply. As you can see, you read the reply. You can read the reply to reply and reply to reply to reply. And the big one, as you can see, this means this has been posted within 72 hours. So the latest one. Now this particular forum do not have all the examples. If I show you this, as you can see how a big forum interaction looks like. So all the plus means starting point. All of these nodes means a reply, and you can read all of them. If you can see this bright red means the convener who has logged in, he replied to that forum post. So what I was trying to achieve, just to show the convener, did I reply to all the forum posts I have, that posted by the student or not. So it's a good way to know, okay, I have replied to this, I have to reply to this. Then he can probably read all of this and he can see, okay, I haven't replied to this, then he can reply for this particular forum post. So this is how the forum visualization basically looks in iLearn Insight. I want to also show you activity details. I have probably 10 to 15 minutes left. So if you look into activity details, you can see all the activities over here into, again, 4 different groups. For an example, past activity, current activity, future activity, current activity, and no dates activity. So all similar, and there are very important data that you can see. For an example, let's take this example. This particular quiz, that 59 out of 77 students submitted, so 76% submission rate. All 59 is graded, so graded, and needs marking is 0. Needs marking is very important to the academic because this is basically their workload. So this is 0, but like if it has a number, that means this is a workload for him, and not submitted is 18. So you can click off any of these to see all the students with the relevant data, and you can email. So let's assume I want to see all these 59 students and send them an email. The reason I have clicked this graded one, because it has certain good functionality inbuilt. So when I clicked on it, I can see all the 59 students over here. Yes, it is. Now, if you look at this column, it gives a very good idea of the academic, how the students are performing in this particular quiz. It calculates the average mark for this quiz. As you can see, it's 8.59. Then it displays for each individual students whether they have done better than average mark or the lower than average mark. As you can see, these students got lower than average mark. This one has more than average mark, and they can be sorted. So academic can sort it and say, okay, these are the students who have done lesser than the average mark, so let's email this student. This is one of the way, right? So I'm not sending email through all of them, so let me show you 2 emails showing that who has done lesser, and let's pick an example of one who has done better than average mark. I go to compose email, it automatically populates some template. Suppose I'm happy with this one, I preview this. As you can see, it shows graphically, and I send it to this message. Just make sure this is safe email. It goes to my email address. I send in one click. I have sent email to 2 students. So similarly, in one click, I can send emails to 100 students or 1,000 students. And this is how student looks. So for this student, this particular quiz has been graded, and these are the information you got. So as you can see, the highest mark is 15, and you achieved 3.17, and the average mark is 8.49. So it's very clear. And over here, you can send some more information. If you are having difficulties, please contact this. These are the places you can contact within the university. The second email I have sent who has done better. So in that case, he gets a green one. So it's a color coded. So as you can see, he got the green one because he has done better than the average. All right. So let me go back again over here. And this is how we can send emails to all the activities which has been graded, which has been marked, and who haven't submitted and submitted. So all can be done. So I need to do it in a hurry. So another important one I want to show you, that attendance thing. Attendance using gradebook. So attendance in Macquarie University was an issue for a longer time. It's a very difficult one. So we don't call it attendance, we call participation. And iLearn Insight has done something which the participation can be done using the gradebook. So in the gradebook, you can put a number, or you can give a quiz which has a number associated with it, and this is how it looks. For an example, for this student has didn't attended two session in 2 weeks, right? And NP and SC is non-participation and special consideration, right? So as you can see, you can send email to all students, suppose who haven't participated, who has a non-participation of suppose more than how many? 6. So these are the students had non-participation more than 6. You can send them an email, and this is used as well. So let me send only one email just to show you how it looks from the student point of view. Suppose I am happy with this one. You click this one to preview. Suppose you are happy, and you can send this email. It's very easy, and the email basically will come in a minute. Here it is. This is what students see. First of all, this is all about participation, and this gives a clear idea of them that your participation is 33%, 33.33, and potential participation is this. The reason both are same now because this is a past unit. So it's both are same, and maximum participation can be 100%. And it also gives a clear idea of the session that you have missed. You have missed this one, you have missed this one, you have missed this one, and this. And this one is no participation not recorded. So as you can see, with the personalized image, iLearn Insight can send lots of nice, meaningful email to the students that make sense. Now, last of all, I think I'll have 2-3 minutes more. So personalized bulk email, I want to show you one more thing. This is again a current work that we are doing. So what this can do, and this basically you can save your own template and use it. So as you can see over here, you can start with a predefined template. For an example, use this one. So these are all predefined template. Then probably suppose this particular template you can change whatever you want to write, and suppose you want to send this template to multiple units, right? Then why to write each and every time? You can create a new one and save it, right? Once you save it, then basically it will come under your save email template, and you can use that template to send email. So this, I'm pretty sure this would be helpful. This is I have just started to work on it. And second thing, that now you can schedule an email as well. For the time being, only from 2 units there were emails sent from using this schedule and email, and it is looking promising. So what you can do, you can schedule your email depending on your deadline of the assignment, or probably you want to send an email who haven't logged in for the last 7 days to a particular time. Then you can schedule all your email at one go, and it will be over here, shown over here, and it will be sent automatically. So this is again something iLearn Insight is exploring currently. I'll consider this as exploration time, and I think it looks promising as well. If any unit convener can schedule their email for their entire session, then they don't have to worry about sending email every week or something like that. Occasionally they can send email, but scheduling an email will really work for them. And last of all, just to finish with my presentation, I would like to highlight this unit engagement. So let's assume this is unit engagement is 94% for this unit, and if unit convener wants to see how my 94% is calculated, So he can click on the calculation, and it's a detailed calculation. He can get it from here. So as you can see from login, 98% students logged in within the 7 days, which it took 50% of this 100%, which means 49.35. And over here, all these activities which has a past due date, how many students submitted on time, depending on that it calculated all the percentage, and which took 50% of all of these, which is basically 44.27%. So a summation of 49.35, and this one is basically giving the 93.62, which is rounded up to 94%. As you can see, it's very clear from my iLearn Insights point of view how each and everything is calculated. Now, if the academic wants to see more details of this student participation, or engagement or unit engagement, who are the students basically engaged, who are the students not engaged, then can come over here and look over here. So total engagement for each and every student. So let's assume I want to find all the students whose total engagement is below 80%. Let's assume 80%. So here are the students, two students whose engagement is below 80%. And if you put your cursor over here, it gives you a little bit of idea why it is. So as you can see, these students have not logged in within last 7 days, and on time submission 0 out of 17. So unit convener knows this student never logged in, not logged in within 7 days and didn't submit anything. This one logged in 2 times within last 7 days, and on time submission is 0 out of 17 activities, didn't submit anything, so can send them in email selecting this too. If I take a little bit broader total engagement, so this all makes sense, and I think it's very easy for unit convener to go through these students who is doing what. Just put your cursor over here and it will give you some ideas of for these particular students. I think this is all I would like to talk about today about iLearn Insights, and I will pass it to David Porter. And thank you very much for joining once again. Any questions are welcome. Feel free to ask me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shamim. We did have a couple of questions come up in the chat. So actually both from Pablo. The first thing that he has asked is the code open source?
Please tell me again.
Your code, is it open source?
Okay, so this code is not open source. It is basically developed for the Macquarie University. I personally would like to open it for everyone if Macquarie University permits. So I will put it up to Dominic to decide.
Dauber in. And then Pablo has also asked, does this include any predictive analytics?
That's a good question. It was in my mind. So if you look at, I talked about. It was always in my mind, predictive. Yes, if you look about the workload which I talked about, that was my initial idea. I didn't get close to that. I do agree, but that was one of my reason of the prediction. So for an example, this one, if I can predict how many assignments need to be marked in the next 15 days or something, then probably unit conveners can allocate markers or tutors. So this was one of the things that I started to think about prediction, but I'm sure Pablo is asking for a different sort of prediction. We'll get to that one day, but not yet.
And Shamim has asked, Stu has asked you, Shamim, sorry, I lost the question. Can students see the data?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. This is not open for the student yet.
Only what's sent to them in the email.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. And the main reason is the security reason. So when 45,000 students will start to access this particular iLearn Insight, then the security needs to be more, right? So we are still not there.
Okay. Stu also asked, has any research from this, on how the presentation to the students that they are below average or above average affects student well-being or motivation to succeed?
So as I have told, like I have started to work on the department level and faculty level reporting. I am sure I will be able to come up. I have already come up who are the students not logging in, who are the students haven't completed academic integrity module. These are the things I have already come up with, but I will come up with those reports as well. Who are the students basically failing behind or the engagement is low, is on the way, it's coming up.
Great. Were there any other questions from anyone on the session? If you want to just go ahead and ask them, or you can post them in the chat. Oh, sorry, Stu just clarified his question. It's not so much around the analytics coming out, but about the student perception as perhaps being labeled as below average or above average, or interpreting that and internalizing that as a statement about them as opposed to being about their performance. And has anybody looked into that?
Probably we haven't gone to that detail yet. All we have that engagement, some sorts of number associated with the engagement, which gives some idea, but not to that extent.
Pablo asks if by chance this did become, I get the feeling that Pablo really wants to get his hands on this. But in terms of if it does become an open source tool, do you foresee it being like an LTI integration?
Honestly, haven't thought about this. Is basically, for the time being, it's only for the Moodle, right? What would be the best way to do? Haven't thought about it, but we can discuss with Dominic, and let's see. I can't comment on this at this time.
Anyways, the other Dave Fulcher, and actually this is a question that I had as well. You said currently this is only available in units in a certain discipline. This has not been rolled out across the entire university. Is that correct?
No. It's entered in university.
It is.
So if you look at my users report, I can show you. It's actually this session 2 2020, current session, 720 units used it, and it is used by 517 unique users. And if you look at 95,000 personalized email has been sent. So my analytics for this is quite strong. I think it has been used extensively throughout the university, at least this session. Any other question?
I think it sounds like we've dumbfounded them. Well, if there are no more questions, I would love to thank Shamim for presenting on his innovation. It's fantastic work that's been done, and we look to the future to see what else comes down the pike with this. I think some people are really keen to have it go open source. And you even have a few offers there for some user acceptance testing, so some user experience testing, Shamim. So there you go. Dog
Okay.
a few people. Yeah.
I'll keep in mind. Feel free to contact me. As my email address is shamim.joarder@mq.edu.au.
So, and thank you everybody for joining us today. Our next ASCILITE webinar will be taking place in just a few short weeks, so at the beginning of June, and it will be another one of our award winners who will be presenting that, and you can find those details on the ASCILITE website. Thank you very much and for joining us, and we hope to see you again at another ASCILITE Live webinar.